Oopsie whoopsie. I'm always missing the beach. So, before I get into the story time, I really want to try my meal. I got this turkey chili from a place in New York called Fresh and Co. I love these healthy places. So, I'm not gonna eat the whole thing. I just want to try it. Oh, check it out. Look at that kale underneath. And it's quinoa on the bottom. Oh. Mm, mm, mm. That is super healthy. And they give you a lot. I mean, this is so heavy. It was like 12, $13. And no, they're not sponsoring me. So much kale. I need to make this for my lunch next week. Wow. I actually make my own kombucha. It's really, really easy to do, but my friend came by and dropped these off for me, so might as well. Might as well get into it. Those bubbles. Oh, it's so gingery. I love ginger. Oh, this one is called lavender melon. But I think the ginger dominates. That is so freaking good. Oh, it has a fizz to it like soda. So if you're one of those people who's gotta have that soda fizz, you'll probably like this one. When I make mine, it doesn't come out fizzy. I just keep mine plain. I don't do anything to it. All right, well, let's get into it. The age of AI and our human future. Excuse me. So we left off with the chapter AI and Human Identity. Ooh, and we're almost finished the book. So I can take it back to the library. Excuse me. Yeah, that is really fizzy. Consider the text that generative models such as GPT-3 are able to create. Nearly any person with a primary education can do a reasonable job of predicting possible completions of a sentence. But writing documents in code, which GPT-3 can do, requires sophisticated skills that humans spend years developing in higher education. Generative models that are beginning to challenge our belief that tasks such as sentence completion are distinct from and simpler than writing. As generative models improve, AI stands to lead to new perceptions of both the uniqueness and the relative value of human capabilities. Where will that leave us? With perceptions of reality complementary to humans, AI may emerge as an effective partner for people. In scientific discovery, creative work, software development, and other comparable fields, there can be great benefits to having an interlocutor with a different perception. But this collaboration will require humans to adjust to a world in which our reason is not the only and perhaps not the most informative way of knowing or navigating reality. This portends a shift in human experience more significant than any that has occurred for nearly 6 centuries, since the advent of the movable type printing press. Societies have two options: react and adapt piecemeal, or intentionally begin a dialogue drawing on all elements of human enterprise, aimed at defining AI's role, and in so doing, defining ours. The former path we will find by default. The latter will require conscious engagement between leaders and philosophers, scientists and humanists, and other groups. Ultimately, individuals and societies will have to make up their minds which aspects of life to reserve for human intelligence and which to turn over to AI or human AI collaboration. Human AI collaboration does not occur between peers. Ultimately, humans both build and direct AI. But as we grow habituated to and reliant on AI, restricting it may become more costly and psychologically challenging, or even more technically complicated. Our task will be to understand the transformations that AI brings to human experience, the challenges it presents to human identity, and which aspects of these developments require regulation or counterbalancing by other human commitments. Charting a human future turns on defining a human role in an AI age. Transforming human experience. For some, the experience of AI will be empowering. In most societies, a small but growing cohort understands AI. For these individuals, the people who build it, train it, task it, and regulate it, and for the policymakers and business leaders who have technical advisors at their disposal, the partnership should be gratifying, if at times startling. Indeed, in many fields, the experience of surpassing traditional reason through specialized technology, as in the case of AI's breakthroughs in medicine, biology, chemistry, and physics, will often prove fulfilling. Those who lack technical knowledge or participate in AI-managed processes primarily as consumers will also frequently find these processes gratifying, as in the case of a busy person who can read or check their email while traveling in a self-driving car. Indeed, embedding AI in consumer products will distribute the technology's widely benefits. However, AI will also operate networks and systems that are not designed for any specific individual user's benefit and are beyond any individual user's control. In these cases, encounters with AI may be disconcerting or disempowering, as when AI recommends one individual over others for desirable promotion or transfer, or encourages or promotes attitudes that challenge or overpower prevailing wisdom. For managers, the deployment of AI will have many advantages. AI's decisions are often as accurate or more accurate than humans, and with the proper safeguards may actually be less biased. Similarly, AI may be more effective at distributing resources, predicting outcomes, and recommending solutions. Indeed, as generative AI becomes more prevalent, its ability to produce novel text, images, video, and code may even enable it to inform as effectively as its human counterparts in roles typically considered creative, such as drafting documents and creating advertisements. For the entrepreneur offering new products, the administrator wielding new information, and the developer creating increasingly powerful AI. Advances in these technologies may enhance senses of agency and choice, optimizing the distribution of resources and increasing the accuracy of decision making is good for society. But for the individual, meaning is more often derived from autonomy and the ability to explain outcomes on the basis of some set of actions and principles. Explanations supply meaning and permit purpose, the public recognition and explicit application of moral principles supply justice. But an algorithm does not offer reasonable reasons grounded in human experience to explain its conclusions to the general public. Some people, particularly those who understand AI, may find this world intelligible, but others, greater in number, may not understand why AI does what it does, diminishing their sense of autonomy and their ability to ascribe meaning to the world. As AI transforms the nature of work, it may jeopardize many people's sense of identity, fulfillment, and financial security. Those most affected by such change and potential dislocation will likely hold blue-collar and middle management jobs that require specific training, as well as professional jobs involving review or interpretation of data, or drafting of documents in standard forms. While these changes may create not only new efficiencies but also the need for new workers, those who experience dislocation, even if short-term, may derive little consolation from knowing that it is a temporary aspect of a transition that will increase a society's overall quality of life and economic productivity. Some may find themselves freed from drudgery to focus on the more fulfilling elements of their work. Others may find their skills no longer cutting edge or even necessary. While these challenges are daunting, they are not unprecedented. Previous technological revolutions have displaced or altered work. Inventions such as the mechanical spinning machine displaced laborers and inspired the rise of the Luddites, members of a political movement who sought to ban, or failing that, to sabotage new technologies to preserve their old ways of life. The industrialization of agriculture sparked mass migration to the cities. Globalization altered manufacturing and supply chains and both prompted changes, even unrest, before many societies ultimately absorbed the changes for their overall betterment. Whatever AI's long-term effects prove to be, in the short term, the technology will revolutionize certain economic segments, professions, and identities. Societies need to be ready to supply the displaced, not only with alternative sources of income, but also with alternative sources of fulfillment. Decision making. In the modern age, the standard reaction to a problem has been to seek a solution, sometimes by identifying the human actors responsible for the original deficiency. This view has assigned both responsibility and agency to humans, and both have contributed to our sense of who we are. Now a new actor is entering these equations and may diminish our sense that we are the primary thinkers and movers in a given situation. At all times, all of us, whether we create and control AI or just use it, will interact with AI unwittingly or be presented with AI-facilitated answers or outcomes that we did not request. At times, unseen AI may lend the world a magical congeniality, as when stores seemingly anticipate our visits and our whims. At other times, it may produce a Kafkaesque feeling, as when institutions present life shaping decisions, offers of employment, decisions about car and home loans, or decisions made by security firms or law enforcement that no single human can explain. These tensions between reasoned explanations and opaque decision making between individuals and large systems, between people with technical knowledge and authority and people without, are not new. What is new is that another intelligence, one that is not human and often inexplicable in terms of human reason, is the source. What is also new is the pervasiveness and scale of this new intelligence. Those who lack knowledge of AI or authority over it may be particularly tempted to reject it, frustrated by its seeming usurpation of their autonomy or fearful of its additional effects. Some may seek to minimize their use of AI and disconnect from social media or other AI mediated network platforms, shunning its use at least knowingly in their daily lives. Some segments of society may go further, insisting on remaining physicalists rather than virtualists. Like the Amish and the Mennonites, some individuals may reject AI entirely, planting themselves firmly in a world of faith and reason alone. But as AI becomes increasingly prevalent, disconnection will become an increasingly lonely journey. Indeed, even the possibility of disconnection may prove illusory as society becomes ever more digitized and AI ever more integrated into governments and products. Its reach may prove all but inescapable. Scientific discovery. The development of scientific understanding often involves a substantial gap between theory and experiment, as well as considerable trial and error. With advances in machine learning, we are beginning to see a new paradigm in which models are derived not from a theoretical understanding, as they have been traditionally, but from AI that draws conclusions based on experimental results. This approach necessitates a different expertise from the one that develops theoretical models or conventional computational models. It requires not only a deep understanding of the problem, but also the knowledge of which data and what representation of that data will be useful for training an AI model to solve it. In the discovery of Hallison, for example, the choice of which compounds and what attributes of those compounds to input into the model was on the one hand crucial and on the other fortuitous. The increase in the importance of machine learning to scientific understanding has produced yet another challenge to our views of ourselves and our roles in the world. Science has traditionally been a pinnacle amalgam of human-driven expertise, intuition, and insight. In the long-standing interplay between theory and experiment, human ingenuity drives all aspects of scientific inquiry. But AI adds a non-human and divergent from human concept of the world into scientific inquiry, discovery, and understanding. Machine learning is increasingly producing surprising results that prompt new theoretical models and experiments. Just as chess experts have embraced the originally surprising strategies of AlphaZero, interpreting them as a challenge To improve their own understanding of the game, scientists in many disciplines have begun to do the same. Across the biological, chemical, and physical sciences, a hybrid partnership is emerging in which AI is enabling new discoveries that humans are in response working to understand and explain. A striking example of AI enabling broad based discovery in the biological and chemical sciences is the development of AlphaFold, which used reinforcement learning to create powerful new models of proteins. Proteins are large, complex molecules that play a central role in the structure, function, and regulation of tissues, organs, and processes in biological systems. A protein is made up of hundreds or thousands of smaller units called amino acids, which are attached together to form long chains. Because there are 20 different types of amino acids in the formation of proteins, a common way to represent a protein is as a sequence that is hundreds or thousands of characters long, in which each character comes from an alphabet of 20 characters. Thanks for listening and watching. Like and subscribe. Catch me in the next video. And may you find lasting happiness.